A very good evening, welcome to the FIFA Club World Cup live here on LFS this Tuesday evening, and tonight our action takes place in Group C as we watch two European sides take on each other in battling for maybe top spot in this group in Group C. Benfica take on Bayern Munich at our commentary game this evening. Also in this group, Auckland City, who are rock bottom of the group, take on a Boca Juniors side who need to win and hope a Bayern result here and goal difference to try and secure a spot in the round of 16 for the South American side. So, all eyes on Group C this evening, and after action in Groups A and B over the last 24 hours, it has been a fantastically entertaining start to match day 3 in this competition. Lots of goals, I can certainly tell you. Let's have a look and see how it's went so far. In Group B last night, it was goal difference that denied Atletico Madrid a place in the last 16, and it was Botafogo who went through in their expense. PSG topped the group after their 2-0 win over Seattle Sounders, and Botafogo, despite losing to Atletico, as I said, goal difference ensured they stayed in the competition. Just 2 goals of a difference, and Atletico would have been heading through, but Botafogo are the team that take their place and in second and into the round of 16. In Group A overnight, though, it was draws apiece for all 4 teams, which really, in the end, did everything and nothing at the same time. But it was a cracker between Porto and Al Ahly, but the other game, Inter Miami, scraped through alongside Palmeiras in a 2-2 draw. A draw was enough for both teams as long as the other two couldn't win in the group. And that was the case. Inter Miami 2, Palmeiras 2. And that cracking 8-goal thriller between Porto and Al Ahly finished as follows, as you see here. Abu Ali had a great night with a hat-trick. It was back and forth between the two clubs all night. Al Ahly scored the opener. Porto equalised, then Al Ahly back in front, then Porto equalised again. Then Al Ahly, for the third time in the evening, went ahead through Abu Ali. But for the third time, Porto equalised. They thought they could have got it for a 4th time, but no, an 89th minute equaliser from Porto denied both sides a chance to head to the round of 16. A very even affair, and the scoreline certainly proved that, but not very much defending going on in that group. That means, though, after those results, that it is set up for the round of 16 ties that will take place on Saturday and Sunday. Palmeiras will take on Botafogo. That game's taking place in Philadelphia. That's on Saturday at 5 o'clock UK time. And PSG take on Inter Miami. Lionel Messi playing against his former club. Who'd have thought it? Sunday, 5 o'clock from Atlanta. That's the 2 round of 16 games done and dusted, but for tonight it's Group C and Group D. Group D taking place in the early hours of the morning, and we'll see how they both perform, who will be going through in these groups. Let's show you Group C firstly then this evening. So there's the qualifications from Group A and B. If we go down to tonight's action, Group C and D, so Bayern are already confirmed through to the next stage of the competition. They know they will be heading to the round of 16, but whether first or second, if Benfica beat Bayern tonight, they can take top spot. But if Bayern win and Boca Juniors win, then there needs to be a big goal swing for Boca Juniors to overtake Benfica. It is possible, but it needs a big goal swing for that to be the case. Auckland are already eliminated. And of course, in Group D, Flamengo already qualified from their top of the group. But Chelsea and Esperance still battling for that second spot. They play later this evening, and that'll be a cracking one to watch in the early hours of the morning. Chelsea and Esperance de Tunisie. Right, but for now, we're ready to get underway in these 2 8 o'clock games for you here in the UK. For these ones, with the Bank of America Stadium for this one, Benfica against Bayern, our first real conversation, our real first coverage of an all-European tie in this competition. This time around the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, and that Auckland City Boca Juniors game is taking place at Geddes Park in Nashville. Both games kick off at the same time, of course. We'll have live updates from the table and, of course, updates from the other game to keep you right up to date with. But our commentary game, Benfica against Bayern, and let's get you the teams for this one because the players still coming out of the tunnel. Let's show you then the teams. Benfica named like this. They start with Anatoly Trubin in at goal. A back four of Frederic Arsnes, Antonio Silva, Captain Nicolas Otamendi, and Samuel Dahl in a back four. In midfield, Renato Sanchez is alongside Leandro Barreiro. In the 10, Gianluca Prestiani. On the left-hand side, Andreas Schelderloop. On the right-hand side, of course, Angel Di Maria on the right-hand side of that attack. And Vangelis Pavlidis leads the Benfica line. Bruno Lage's side on the bench, Ferreira, Santos, Winder, Bayrami, Oliveira, Rego, Luis, Veloso, Proiste, Kochu, Aktokoglu, Bruma and Gueva. For Bayern Munich, a couple of changes, interestingly, to Vincent Kompany's side tonight. Manuel Neuer continues in goal. He captains the Bayern side tonight. A back four of course, Sasha Bowie, Deo Upamecano, who returns to the side alongside Josip Stanisic, and Rafael Guerrero, who continues at left back. In midfield, João Palhinha is alongside Alexander Pavlovic. Within the 10, Tom Bischoff is in the 10 tonight. On the right-hand side, Leroy Sané. On the left-hand side, Serge Gnabry. And leading the line, the veteran Thomas Müller is up front for Bayern. On the bench, Urbik, Peretz, Slimer, Aznoi, Kiala, Ta, Olise, Kimmich, Coman, Daiber, Karl, Musiala, Goretzka, Harry Kane and Jonah Kusi Asari. So, it is a battle for top spot, but if Bayern can win, there is still a chance for Boca Juniors. This game and this group is not decided just yet. Who will be taking top spot and who will be getting second place, we will find out very shortly as we will get kickoff from the Bank of America Stadium, and Group C match day 3 is on the way in just a moment. Do stay with us. A very good evening and welcome to the stream tonight. Benfica against Bayern, our focused game. Great to have you all with us for this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. We're very, very close to 28,000 subscribers, and that would be great if you could help us to get to that stage. That would be fantastic. Right, on to the left-hand side of me, we have, the FIFA president is at the Auckland Boca Juniors game. And he's decided to go for a trip to Nashville as Gianni Infantino, but here at the Bank of America Stadium, it is Bayern against Benfica. Two European sides, the Portuguese side against the German side. And these two, if they draw tonight, theoretically, they will both be going through. That is how simple it is. If Benfica win, they both go through. But if Bayern win, there is still a mathematical chance that if Boca Juniors beat Auckland, that they can still qualify for the knockouts. Welcome in everybody joining us in the chat. Kolya, the names map as well. Great to have you with us again. I think it's going to be 5-1 to Boca in that game. Thank you very much for joining us. Analog says, good evening, nice shirt. Thank you very much. Repping the Liverpool shirt tonight. As Arab, great to have you with us. No problems. Great to have you all with us for this one this evening. They're about to get underway in that Auckland-Boca game. We might be a tiny bit delayed. I don't want to mention it. And thankfully the match map isn't here to spoil the party for you in case there are any goals. I hope there's bloody goals tonight for this one. Let me just resolve this for you. The fact that wasn't a scoreline there for Bayern. Yeah, so no match map tonight, of course, is the theme. We're trying it out. We'll see how well it goes. There is a match map in the bottom left corner. Here we go, down there, for the Auckland City Boca Juniors game, but that won't affect us in watching our game that is about to get underway. In this one, there's just a few ads running. That game is underway between Auckland and Boca Juniors now, so they've got their game going. And we're about to get underway here between Benfica and Bayern. Again, two teams with a lot on the line tonight. Bayern know that they want to take top spot. They don't want to be facing a very good Flamengo side in the round of 16. That will be a real tough task for them. That's what is clear that they could be facing come the round of 16. We're about to get underway. Bayern in their away strip this evening of white and that kind of light peach trimmings, and Benfica in all red this evening as we get underway then in this one. And looking forward to seeing, as I said, how both of these two sides fare tonight. You know, we know that they are in a position where they both can beat each other. They've certainly competed at the top level of Europe in the Champions League in the most recent campaign, these two. And they're well capable of putting in a big performance. What can they be providing tonight for us in terms of any entertainment? They were thrilled with goals last night. 12 goals in that Group A, match day 3. Just the 3 goals that we got from our Group B coverage last night, but hoping for a few more goals here this evening on this one. And Bayern have started with a possession down this right hand side. It was Bowie trying to work the ball into the box, and this time Benfica's defence just closing out that space, and then trying to win it back was Pavlovic, but it's going to be a Benfica throw. Well, of course, Bruno Lage will be known to Premier League fans. Of course, the former Wolves head coach is the Benfica boss for this one. Has been the Benfica boss since September of last year. Bruno Lage has had a very good record, won 38 out of his 54 games in charge of the club. Of course, was a Botafogo manager, actually, funnily enough, before that, more recently, which is very intriguing, very entertaining. The team that, of course, will be in the round of 16. Already qualifying. The names map says Benfica are most likely to go through, but the juniors can still squeeze in second place. Yeah, they definitely can. Benfica are nearly going to lose 2-1. Well, again, as I said, if Benfica lose, they have to be a little bit wary. Auckland have already been on the end of a 10-0 defeat and a 6-0 defeat, so they're more than known to be beaten by a big margin at the New Zealand side. So it's not always a guarantee that if you lose Benfica tonight that they will be heading through. A goal difference could easily be diminished as Bayern try the ball down the left-hand side, but it's too much for Serge Gnabry to chase, and that will be a goal kick to Benfica. As you would expect, Bayern have started the better with the possession in this one. Trubin will kick it long for Benfica, trying to target it towards Pavlidis, but just over the head of the centre forward. And Bayern can recoup. Ball worked out to the right hand side. Bowie trying to go for the link up with Leroy Sané, but didn't quite find his teammate on that occasion. And now Benfica trying to get some possession. Daw works it all the way back to the goalkeeper Trubin, who now gives it off to Nicolas Otamendi, who is the captain for Benfica. Of course, the former Manchester City centre-back, Nicolas Otamendi. In a number of years since he's been in the sky blue of City. As ball's given away in the midfield there. Here's Leroy Sané, rolls it through for Müller. Müller trying to chip it across the box. There's 2 in red, and that time it was headed behind by Antonio Silva for the Bayern corner. That was positive there from Bayern. Good press in the midfield, and they worked it well out to the right hand side, and Sané lifting it out wide and then trying to work the ball across the box. It was headed behind by Antonio Silva as Gnabry will come over and take this corner on the left hand side for Bayern. Centre backs are up as well as Stanisic and Upamecano as the delivery headed away by Pavlidis. One back by Leroy Sané again, who tried to dart one into the box. Well blocked, and Upamecano there seen out, but it will be a Bayern throw on the right hand side. A lot of early defending for Benfica to do in this one. Of course, Bayern already qualified after their win in the last game again, or their 2-2 result. That's not correct. I was going to say that's not correct. Bayern didn't draw 2-2 with Boca. They won 2-1. That's a slight typo. I was going to say how they have 6 points if they drew. A little bit of an issue there. Do apologise for the little break up there we had. I think we had just too much going on, and I think it just kind of crashed a little bit. So I've had to abandon the other game, but we do have the coverage of it for you still going. I do apologise about that. Great to have you all with us for this one this evening. As here is Renato Sanchez in the middle for Benfica, trying to progress the ball forward. Plays it into Prestiani. Out wide on the right hand side. It's Di Maria. It's Angel Di Maria. He's threaded it through to the left hand side now. Dahl with a cross. Deflected. That will take it behind for the corner. Andreas Schelderup with the attempt of a cross there on that left hand side, and that wins Benfica their first corner of this game. No shots as of yet in the first just short of 7 minutes in this one. Right footed delivery from Benfica from the corner, but nicely defended tonight. Gnabry trying to burst away on the counter-attack, but the ball to Sane was just a little bit overhit, and Benfica could recover and retrieve. That was a little bit of a tug on Prestiani there. That's going to be a free kick. De Upamecano with a little bit of an overzealous challenge. And that's going to be a free kick to Benfica. It's Renato Sanchez is making sure that the referee knew about and spotted. Yeah, he just slightly catches him. De Upamecano. It's definitely a foul. Angel Di Maria has history against Bayern. He played for PSG in the Champions League final back in 2020. He's the one going to take this free kick. Swings it into the box. It was kept alive. Oh boy, couldn't really battle for it there. Just worked out to the edge of the box. And Sanchez to try and deliver. Cleared away. Back to Di Maria. He will have an effort. Oh, that's just narrowly wide from Angel Di Maria. He had the effort, he had the space, and he hit it sweetly. And that's just wide. There's a lot of bodies in the 6-yard box that could have sent it anywhere, really. Benfica a little bit unfortunate on that occasion. Well, they do have a corner here. So took a deflection. Di Maria to take this corner. Right hand side. Taken short to Prestiani. Back to Di Maria. Squares it across. Here's Sanchez on the edge. He will have an effort, but that's looped up and into the hands of the goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. Right, your match is not working. I don't know whether it's a DAZN problem. If you're watching it on DAZN, there was a little bit of a lag, whatever happened there. A little bit strange. Nine minutes gone. And Benfica have had the first effort of the game, the first real chance of the game with that Angel Di Maria shot. Bayern tried to assert their early dominance, got a corner or two in these early moments, and trying to get themselves on the score sheet early. Remember, for Bayern, if Benfica win this game, they will be toppled. They won't be able to have top spot. Benfica would take top spot with a win here this evening. So in the most realistic of expectations, these two are more than likely going to be going through. However, if Bayern are able to beat Benfica, there is a chance for Boca Juniors. But the most realistic of expectations is that this is a battle for top spot, really, this game between Bayern and Benfica more than anything. Bayern only need to avoid defeat to claim top spot. And that will mean they will play the runners-up of Group D, who of course will play later this evening. Chelsea and Esperance both battling for that second place in Group D. And they play each other this evening. Flamengo, of course, against Los Angeles, who are already out. And Flamengo only need a point to secure top spot in that group. So the likelihood is they will claim top spot, Flamengo, but nothing's guaranteed in Group D. And that is more than likely the team that the runners-up of this group will be playing. And that's another thing, you know, I mean, I'm not in any way saying that teams come into this going, yeah, we want to finish top, well, we want to avoid the best team or finish second to avoid the best team or whatever, the opposing group. You get who you get. No one's really thinking that far ahead. But from our perspective, we can try to set up maybe some interesting matchups for the round of 16. You know, we've already got a headline maker from the round of 16, PSG against Inter Miami. You know, Lionel Messi against his former club. I mean, what more headline do you want out of that tie than there is? And then the real matchup of the two kind of South American sides in Palmeiras and Botafogo, the two Brazilian sides. So, I mean, what more do you want from the two round of 16 games so far that we have already seen decided? Of course, remember, those round of 16 games all start on Saturday. Those games start. So we do have a day's break on Friday from the Club World Cup, but we'll be back underway very quickly on Saturday evening. Here's Angel Di Maria for Benfica. It's a good move here. They're down the right side. Ball fizzes back across the box, and here it is, and it's in. And it's Sheldrup at the back post. It was arguing and eyeing towards Angel Di Maria. And that is a great moment for Benfica and Bruno Lage, who celebrates to the crowd. And I said, top spot isn't decided yet. Benfica win, and they will be top of the group. And they have an early advantage against Bayern Munich, the German champions. Andreas Sheldrup has the opener. Again, it's a great move down that right-hand side. It's Di Maria. He plays it out wide on this right-hand side to the overlapping fullback, Frederic Orgenes. He cuts it back into the box, and it just bobbles its way through. And there at the back post, Andreas Sheldrup has the finish, sweeping it past Manuel Neuer and finding the back of the net. Unlucky for some, but number 13, the 13th minute for Benfica, is their lucky moment. Benfica 1, Bayern Munich 0. And that is a great goal. And that is a very intriguing start to this game. Benfica strike first, which does swap the table around quite intriguingly. It will mean they will take top spot as it stands, Benfica. And there you go, there's the updated table on the right hand side of your screen. Benfica 7 points now, Bayern on 6 as it stands, and Boca Juniors on 2, Auckland on 1. They are still goalless in that game, by the way, at Geddes Park. Despite their better goal difference, Bayern, that the points is what matters. Can you put the match up for the Benfica match, please? I'll try, but I can't guarantee that it'll be able to work because we've rejigged everything, the format and the layout. I don't know if we can. I'll try my best to get it for you, although we are a bit delayed, so you'll kind of get spoilers, which unfortunately I don't really want to do, but I don't think we possibly could do that with a reformatting of the layout. Apologies for that, but You'll not miss a thing. If you aren't able to watch the match, you'll not be able to miss a thing here. We'll keep you right up to date with everything that's going on in this game. As Benfica win it back, Urshan is down this right-hand side. There's space down this right again for Benfica. Here's Di Maria drifting towards the box, dribbling his way around his defender and Stanisic. And now still going Di Maria as he went down. But a clean challenge, said the referee, who waves away any penalty claims. And Bayern passing around at the back. A referee this evening from France, François Letessier, our French official, in the middle. Thought that was never a penalty, and I tend to agree with him. It doesn't negate the fact that there is space down that right-hand side for Benfica to attack in transition. Clearly, Rafael Guerreiro was taking up a very advanced attacking role and leaving that space in behind, down that right flank, for Benfica to try and exploit. Which is, of course, is the risk with an inverted fullback, or a more attacking fullback, as you just leave that space in behind, that area where your left centre-back has to try and cover, really, and this kind of stretches the whole back line in transition. So far, that's where Benfica have had their advantage, down that right channel. There's Silva. Chipped forward, nice link up there between Pavlidis and Di Maria, and Pavlidis is bursting away. And here's Angelis Pavlidis. He's still in the box, he's bundled down. He just loses his balance, really. There wasn't really much contact. And Vangelis Pavlidis was in a great position to double Benfica's lead, and just held on to the ball far too long and then lost his balance. What a opportune moment for Benfica. I said it's down that right-hand side. And Bayern slightly hanging on in those moments. That wasn't particularly strong defensively there from Antonio Silva. He poked that one out for a Bayern throw on the far right side. Stanisic. Palhinha. Linking up well there with Bischoff. Just keeping the ball moving, Bayern, trying to regain any sort of control in this game. The way the Benfica have started, they look a threat, and they already have that lead. It's already work for Bayern to do. That's going to be a yellow card for a Benfica player there, after a foul on Thomas Müller. I think it's Renato Sanchez. That's the one that's been booked. And Nicholas Otamendi trying to argue his player's case, but yeah, he's just a little bit late on the back of Thomas Müller. That's definitely a foul. Samuel in the chat says, good games, I have 3-2 Bayern and 5-0 Boca. Double bet on. Well, would that qualify Boca? Those scorelines? Well, Boca, this will be interesting to do. So Benfica, if they lose by 1 goal, Benfica, their goal difference will be +5 and 6 points. Boca win by 5, their goal difference would be, no, it would just miss them out. Boca would need to win by 6 goals if Benfica lose by 1 against Bayern. Well, that would be tight. Good predictions. I'm liking the predictions that we're expecting a good number of goals. I like that prediction, Samuel. That free kick here to Bayern in the Benfica half. Decent area on that right-hand side. Good distance out, about 35 yards out. Lots of Benfica players back. 4 Bayern players round the back. It doesn't really get very far as Otamendi can head it clear of any sort of danger. That was a little bit weird from Bayern. They put 4 players right at the back post and then just kind of looped it into the middle, where there was no one in white shirt there. Very peculiar. that free kick. They've won the ball back here though. Stanisic. Right to the left-hand side comes Guerrero. Guerrero trying the early cross, but dealt with round the back there by Dahl. And now trying to break away down the right. And here's Pavlidis in behind again. Oh, the confusion by Manuel Neuer and his defender Deo Upamecano. And that might be a corner. And look at Vincent Kompany is absolutely effervescent on the sidelines. He is fuming at his players. What is that? Where is Deo Upamecano going? Manuel Neuer's come to make the clearance to get it away from danger, and then Upamecano kind of runs in front of him. And the ball clatters off Upamecano and goes behind for a corner. And this is round about the halfway line. I mean, this is crazy stuff. Terrible from Deo Upamecano and Manuel Neuer there. And a cheap corner to give away to Benfica here on this right-hand side. Di Maria to take. Left-footed. Lifted in. And headed away by Upamecano. Slightly making up for the error that he made. And that's gone out for a throw-in on the far side. A bit fortunate there, Bayern, that didn't cause them more concern, because it was a completely avoidable moment, really. I mean, quite shocking how that came about. Dahl. Sanchez. Barrero. Now back to Osnes. All the way back here to Antonio Silva, who does to poke it back to his keeper away from Thomas Muller's threat. Now, Otamendi trying to flick it over the top, but that one's gone too far. Oh, you've a bet on it. 120, 150 could win 185 quid. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, I hope for your sake and all our sakes that this happens. Not because I want this to be like a desired result of Bayern and Benfica go through. Not in any way. It's just we get entertaining games and you get money. Who doesn't love it? Again, not betting advice, not gambling advice. I'm not giving that out. Not a chance, but you know what I mean. Halfway through the first half already here. Benfica 1, Bayern Munich 0. The left winger, who I'm still trying to learn his name, Andreas Schelderup, with the goal to give Benfica that early lead after 13 minutes. Andreas Schelderup from Norway, the 21-year-old Norwegian. Joined Benfica in January of 2023 for £7.8 million. Of course, would be in euros, but that's the pounds equivalent. Was on loan in Denmark before last season when he rejoined and ended his loan and had a full season with Benfica last year. Scored just one goal though in 20 Portuguese league appearances, 3 assists. And his last goal for Benfica came in the Taça de Portugal in a 5-0 win over Descensa in a 5-0 victory. He got 2 assists and a goal in that one, Andreas Schelderup. And in this moment that I've been talking about, the Benfica scorer, Bayern had been in possession, but there's going to be an offside against one of their players now. That's it's going to be Sasha Bowie on that right hand side. Well, I've got to say, he's kind of regained his composure a little bit, Vincent Kompany, after he went absolutely mental at Deo Upamecano and Manuel Neuer a few moments ago. With 69% possession so far, Bayern, to the 31% of Benfica. See this opportunity for Vangelis Pavlidis. My goodness me. Yeah, he just loses his balance up against Deo Upamecano. It's not a penalty. Not in a million years, but I mean, for me, Pavlidis, in the form that he's been in, he should be doing better in that position. Should take the shot earlier, in my opinion. Evangelos Pavlidis scored and assisted in the last game against Auckland City, and that 6-0 win, because he scored for Benfica in 1-1 draws in their final 2 league games of the campaign in Liga Portugal. 1 all draws against Braga and Sporting to end the season. We have a goal in our other game between Auckland City and Boca Juniors, if you didn't know already. It's just been scored, and it is the way of Boca Juniors. They have taken the lead in that. It's an own goal, which is even more heartbreaking for Auckland City, if we're honest. Nathan Garrow with the own goal has given Boca Juniors the lead there. So they do move up they move up in points in the table, but they don't move positionally. But they are keeping the pressure that if this game gets turned around and Bayern do come back and win, that it's not always as simple as what it could be at the moment for Benfica. And there you go, the updated table. 4 points are now Boca on, which is interesting. They actually haven't won a game yet, which is quite bizarre. But of course, playing Benfica and Bayern would have been tough. They drew their first game 2-2 with Benfica. Did Boca, and then that 2-1 defeat to Bayern on match day 2. And I know it says in the bottom corner it's 2-2, but it finished 2-1 to Bayern. Ryan says, loving that you actually commentate rather than just waffle on all the time. Yeah, no one wants to listen to waffle. You have to commentate. You have to actually explain what's going on in the game. Yeah, 100%. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. I do question that sometimes if I do commentate too, act too professionally, but then again, that's what I'm here to do. That's my job. That's what we're here to do. Explain to you what's going on and tell you what way the game is panning out. And so far, so good for Benfica. It would be topping the table and heading to the round of 16 and playing a chance at maybe playing Chelsea in the round of 16 or Esperance de Tunis, depending on who wins that game later on this evening, of course. Remember, a draw for Chelsea in their game later on would see them through in second, but a Esperance win would see them and Chelsea, them go through and Chelsea go out. So it's not all kind of wrapped up for Enzo Maresca's side, who have been in the news over the last 24 hours. Enzo Maresca's team, who they had their training interrupted prior to the game that's going to take place later tonight. They, of course, are playing in Philadelphia, where there's been extreme heat across the United States over the last week or so since this competition actually got started, and it's been a very kind of interesting dynamic with a lot of the thunderstorms as well that have upset a few games, and Chelsea maybe just making some excuses before their game later this evening. Pavlidis with a bit of pressure there on the Bayern defence, but Sacha Boey comes away with it down that right hand side and works it back to his defenders. Here's Stanisic trying to get Bayern across the halfway line into Müller, who drops a little deeper. Stanisic out wide to Serge Gnabry. Guerrero back to Gnabry. That's good combinations. Lovely play between the lines, although couldn't hold it up there. Thomas Müller on the second time round, and then there's going to be a pull on a Benfica midfielder by Serge Gnabry, and that's going to be a free kick. Well, I've got to say, Bruno Lage's side have been the better of the two teams so far. Bayern have had a lot of possession, but they've just not really done anything. They've had no real focal point to get the ball up the field. I think the lack of striker, kind of that hold-up striker that's just not in the team this afternoon, has been a little bit confusing for Bayern. As we have this cooling break at the moment, as I said about the intense heat and the not extreme heat, but the intense heat, of course, for European sides. They're used to hot weather, but probably not this hot. Here in Charlotte Court, North Carolina, for this game. 35 degrees heat in terms of 35 degrees Celsius. If I were to compare that to the home temperatures of these two teams, it's 20 degrees in Benfica at the moment. And in Munich, it was 23 degrees today, so it has been warm, but 35 is another level of heat that European sides are not massively used to. And that's why we have this little cooling break, which can let me tell you that we have another set of group roundups tomorrow for you and on Thursday. And we start tomorrow, Mamelodi Sundowns against Fluminense. That's the Group F, the wrap-up for you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Dortmund against Ulsan is the other game. And we'll see if the Mamelodi Sundowns and Fluminense, who will be battling out of that one. They can both still qualify along with Dortmund, so none of them are wrapped up yet. But we could see which of those two will be going through. And then on Thursday, we round off our group stage coverage with a cracker of a game. Another all-European battle, and Juventus taking on Manchester City. That's on Thursday as Group G rounds off. And both are already qualified, but both are battling for top spot in that group. And we'll see who comes out on top between Juventus and Man City on Thursday nights. And then, of course, as I said, the round of 16 gets underway on Saturday. As I said, our first game that we'll be watching in the round of 16 in this competition. If I can get my schedule, I'm flicking through the pages trying to find my schedule. Here it is. Palmeiras taking on Botafogo is our first game of the round of 16. And then the winners of this group that we're watching this evening will take on the runners-up of Group D. That's the later game on Saturday evening on a 4 p.m. kickoff Eastern time, so that'll be 9 p.m. UK time. Well, that's lovely. Nice late one for us. And then PSG Inter Miami kicks off our Sunday coverage here in LFS. So lots of action to look forward to across the week. And then, of course, we're all building up to that final on July the 13th. That will be held, of course, at the MetLife Stadium in New York. New York, New Jersey, East Rutherford. Any one of the three. Bit of a long cooling break. About 3 minutes we've taken here for this cooling break. I mean, rehydrate and get back out onto the fields. Bayern players are taking a seat. They're sitting down. I mean, fair enough. Recline, relax, watch a movie, whatever you want to do. You're definitely not playing a football match at the moment. And there. Now, getting their way back onto the field. And I'm sure during that cooling break, both head coaches, Bruno Lage and Vincent Kompany, would have been relaying some messages to their players of tactical information and bits and pieces just to share with their players about how they can manage this game and how they can manage it better. And I would say Vincent Kompany will be doing a bit of that with his Bayern side, who have been a little bit off it so far. As I said, that lack of focal point in a centre forward has kind of confused Bayern a little bit. They've struggled to kind of keep the ball up the field and get it confidently into the final third at any real rate. Just the one shot so far from Bayern, and it was off target. Compare that to Benfica, who've had 3 shots, all 3 of which have been on target. So they're certainly a lot more accurate when they get forward, Benfica, than their Bavarian opponents. Hasn't stopped Bayern having the lion's share of possession so far in the first 34 minutes of this game. 72% of the ball. Upamecano through the lines. Nice little give off here. Here's Serge Gnabry. He can try and have a cut inside effort, but well blocked. Not cleared fully though. Pavlovic. Bischoff. Now Sané trying to return it to Bischoff, who was crowded out. And it's cleared away by Benfica. Bischoff again. Sacha Boui. Made off by Pavlovic to Upamecano. Now Stanisic. Out to Gnabry on the left-hand side. Serge Gnabry. Back inside here to Palhinha. Pavlovic. Boui. Better from Bayern. Trying to probe in and around the final third. And the Benfica players sitting a little bit deeper. Kind of a a 6-1-3 out of possession. Benfica, very intriguing. It's a nice ball in between the lines there for Gnabry, but a follow-up ball didn't quite find its target. And then Benfica unable to keep the possession there with Prestiani. That was out anyway for a Bayern throw as it crossed the sidelines. Billy says, good commentary, mate. Thank you very much indeed, Billy. Great to have you all with us in the chat. If you haven't done so already, do like, subscribe and turn on post notifications. We're very close to 28,000 subscribers. It would be great if you could help us to get to that point if you haven't done so already. And of course we've lots of Club World Cup action still to come in the tournament over the next week, next 2 weeks or so. Right up to the final on the 13th of July. That was nice work from Di Maria, finding Renato Sanchez in between the lines. Out to the left-hand side it comes now to Dahl. Sanchez, and now gives it back to Otamendi. To Silva. Back to Martinez. And we'll go all the way back to Trubin in the Benfica goal. That's a nice ball from Dahl down the left side towards the goal scorer, Andres Sheldrup. But he was snatched upon there by Stanisic, and that's going to be a throw-in down the left-hand side. Jeffrey says Bastian Schweinsteiger to save the Germans. Well, at the minute, Bayern needs someone. I mean, Harry Kane's on the bench, but at the minute, just struggling with that focal point in the box. Just not getting it, not being penetrative enough, if you know what I mean. Cristiani swinging it out to the opposite side, to the left side, to the goal scorer, Sheldrup. Sheldrup up against Bowie. Cuts it back to Di Maria, who will swipe at one, but that was lofted well over the bar by the veteran attacker, Angel Di Maria, who's still going at the age of 37, the Argentinian. All 3 goals in this tournament so far for Angel Di Maria have been from the penalty spot, including 2 in the previous game. Actually, the last time that Angel Di Maria scored from open play was when he scored 2 goals from open play back in January against Braga in the League Cup final round when they won 3-0 Benfica. And he scored 2 goals in the first half of that 3-0 win. His last 5 goals have all come from the penalty spot for the 37-year-old. 3 of those 5 obviously coming in this tournament so far, as we have a little issue here for one of the Benfica players that's gone down, so he's receiving a little treatment. I think it's Prestiani that's the one that's getting treatment, so we'll see if he is okay. Just looks a little bit lacking energy there, Prestiani. He doesn't look like there's any major injury, but it's a bit obscure, that. He's a little bit dazed. Fascinating. He's holding his head. Yeah, I knew that. Whatever. Maybe the heat is kind of a bit too much for him. They put an ice pack on the back of his neck there, whatever that was all about, and he's going to go to the sidelines, Prestiani, and those are the type of issues you don't want to take any risks with, because he looks really dazed here. Does the Benfica number 10. Well, that's the position he's playing. It's not his number. The number 25 he is. Gianluca Prestiani, but whether he can continue or not, we'll yet to find out. He's on the sidelines talking to his head coach at the moment, so we'll see what comes of that. I'm sure they'll properly assess him at half-time, but for the moment, it looks like he might be returning to the field of play very shortly. No real options there for Bayern again, as that's what João Palhinha was referencing. No movement really from the Bayern forward players. Gnabry back to Stanisic. Just very rigid from Bayern. Trying to find these hopeful balls in between the lines, and there's just no movement. Benfica sitting in shape, comfortably defending the Germans. Pavlovic spreads it out wide to the right side. Bowie with a 1-2 link up with Sane. Has to give it back again to Deo Upamecano, as there's just no room, no space to try and find or exploit. Bayern are exclusively having to go into the wide areas, and that's where probably Benfica seem to want them to go. There's just no room in the middle to try and exploit. Here's Palhinha. Now Upamecano arrows that one round the corner, and Guerrero tried to square it across, but again Renato Sanchez in the way. He tried to flick it round the corner for Angel Di Maria, but a little bit overhit on that occasion and easily recovered by Stanisic. Get a slice of luck there, Bayern. Pavlovic, nice ball out wide. Gnabry's cross was threatening, but that's going to be a foul, given away a bit cheaply there by Bayern and on a Benfica defender in Antonio Silva, and it's a free kick to the Portuguese side. It was a good threatening cross though from Serge Gnabry. Nice little move from Pavlovic, a little off balance. He worked it out wide well to Serge Gnabry. Got the cross off with his left foot. It was curling, and Silva that was tackled in the middle, and the clearance was made anyway, but the foul was given. As Prestiani is on and is okay at the moment, so I'm sure they'll do a full assessment of him at half time, the Benfica coaching staff and medical team. Of course, there are options, none other than, of course, Kerem Aktürkoğlu, the Turkish player, who can come off the bench to make a change for Benfica, but at the moment it is Gianluca Prestiani that is in that attacking midfield role for SL Benfica at the moment. As we edge closer to the end of the first half here in the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Benfica 1, Bayern Munich 0, and still Bayern Munich are without a shot on target as we edge closer to half time. 2 shots, none on target so far. They're really struggling in that final third, our Vincent Kompany's team. That's a chip ball round the corner here for Serge Gnabry. And he rounds the man, and he gets it into the box. And there's the shot, skied over the bar by Leroy Sané. That's the first real time we've seen Bayern actually work around the Benfica defence. And it was class from Serge Gnabry. Committed the defender in Frederick Ursnes. Yeah, he comes right out wide, and then Gnabry, just this beautiful deft touch, and then the second touch just keeps it in, and he cuts it back, and it falls all the way to Leroy Sané, who just leaning back, strikes right through the ball and skies it. That's the first real time all afternoon that we've seen Bayern get in behind Benfica and cause them an issue, and the shot was in the end very wasteful. As Sacha Bowie's under a little bit of pressure here. A couple of good players in the vicinity, and the last touch was off a Benfica man. And then the goal scorer, Sheldrup, and it goes for a goal kick. Last minute of the first half here. It's still 1-0 here between Benfica and Bayern, and still 1-0 between Boca Juniors and Auckland City in that one. So it means Boca will be going up in points and could be claiming their first win in the tournament, but it would be a win that would ultimately not be enough to see them through to the round of 16, which for them would be a disappointment. And interestingly, so far we actually haven't seen, obviously a small sample size, but we haven't seen a South American side be knocked out of the competition just yet. That's a great interception by Dahl there against Sané. 4 added minutes at the end of the first half as he breaks down the left hand side here. Sheldrup Lays it off to Prestiani, who works around one player, can't get past another. That was good pressing by Dahl to win it back again. And then Di Maria will just restore a little bit of control for Benfica. Silva, look at the space down the right side here for Auckland. Auckland trying to link up 1-2 with Renato Sanchez, who's grappling to keep the ball. And he was caught there. Renato Sanchez, free kick to Benfica. They've done well in those tight spaces. When Bayern have applied the press, Benfica, they've done well at avoiding and maybe forcing them into more aggressive challenges to win those free kicks. Just break the game up a little bit more. Win a few set pieces. They've played a very smart game in this first half, Benfica. And at the moment, the game plan is working for Bruno Lage's team. As Angel Di Maria takes another free kick here on this right-hand side. Very high line from Bayern. Di Maria looping it into the box, back post, and there was 2 red shirts in the vicinity. The closest was the captain, Nicolas Otamendi, but it was a yard or 2 in front of him. And there was a man round the back as well, alongside Otamendi, who also couldn't reach it as it went for a goal kick. But that was a nice delivery, just a yard or so ahead of Nicolas Otamendi. He ultimately, seemingly was the target. So here come Bayern. 2 minutes of the 4 added to go in this first half. Delivery into the box by Sané. Brought down was Müller, but it was eased off the ball there, the German Thomas Müller, who at no point actually claimed for a penalty there. And it was caught in the end by Trubin. That was a good delivery by Sané. Lifted it, and then Müller made the move in behind, and yeah, he just kind of lost his balance as he tried to chest it there, Müller, rather than anything else. Well, here they have a chance here, Benfica, down this left-hand side. Pavlidis linking up down that left, but have to come all the way back with Dahl. And I'm sure Bruno Lage's team will not want to state their advantage so far. I think they'll just be happy to head into half-time, if they will head into half-time with a lead, and kind of take a lot of good foundations from that, and a lot of promise, a lot of positivity from that, if they can hold on here. A minute or so to go with a half. As that ball by Trubin was recovered by Upamecano. Here's Guerrero under pressure. Loses the ball to Auckland, but Auckland couldn't keep it in with a header. Right for the Bayern throw. They're still playing in that game between Auckland and Boca Juniors. They had 5 added minutes at the end of the half there, so they've about a minute or so to go. We've about 30 seconds. And we'll recap the table, we'll recap the scores, we'll recap what needs to happen for anything to change in this group at half time. We'll also look ahead to Group D to see who the winners and runners up of this group could face, as that was a through ball to Sané, but again very well cleaned out and cleared away by Nicolas Otamendi. Now I think Benfica will just try and ease this to the halfway point. Di Maria, Auckland, and that's the half-time whistle. So a first half done and dusted, and so far so good for Bruno Lage's Benfica, who at the moment would be heading through top of the group, and Bayern could be facing any sort of tough opposition. At the moment, these two competing for top spot, and at the minute it is Benfica who are winning that battle. Half-time at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. It is half-time. No, I was going to say it's finished. It hasn't finished. It's Benfica 1 at Bayern Munich 0. We'll analyse the first half and the way the group looks when we come back. Welcome back to the Club World Cup live here on LFS this Tuesday evening. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Caoimhan Ferris. Half-time in those two games that we're watching tonight. Auckland City are losing 1-0 to Boca Juniors. In their game, of course, Auckland already out of the competition. They will be finishing bottom of the group no matter what. But Boca Juniors can still progress if Bayern beat Benfica and goal difference goes their way. That's not quite happening at the moment because Benfica are winning against Bayern at this moment in time by a goal to nil. Andreas Schelderup with the goal on 13 minutes has Benfica leading, and probably deservedly so, if I'm completely honest. Oh, I've just seen that goal that Boca Juniors have got. Came from a corner, and that's awful. The defender tries to head it clear and actually heads it into his own net, unfortunately. But, no, as I was saying, Benfica probably deservedly ahead, if I'm honest, because the way they performed has been quite interesting. You know, Bayern didn't start with a centre-forward tonight. They don't have a recognised centre-forward in their team. Of course, Thomas Muller's playing up there, but he's not a centre-forward in that way. No Harry Kane's on the bench tonight, and I think Benfica have played to that massively. They've just sat a little deeper. They've made sure the Bayern don't have any space in the centre of the pitch. They're forcing them wide. They're forcing on them to the flanks and try and attack us from there. And really, Bayern have struggled with that because they've no focal point. I said it early in the half. They're struggling to keep the ball up the field because there's no one there to go to. There's no one there to target. And the way Bayern play, they're always trying to find a Harry Kane or someone in the centre to target or to find, or to their play to be kind of tailored to. Without that, they look a little bit lost, Bayern. And I think on top of that, that's maybe a little bit of an excuse. They just haven't been good enough. I think they've been slow. I think their possession's been a little bit wasteful. I think they haven't dominated the game enough. They haven't tested the Benfica defence anywhere near enough. I think Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané have been okay, but not anywhere near good enough. We've barely seen very much of their midfielders in Pavlovic and alongside him João Palhinha. Have barely kind of dictated anything. So I think from a Bayern point of view, yes, they don't have that recognised centre-forward to kind of focus on and have that as their focal point of their attack. But also in possession, they've been very wasteful, very loose, and very kind of off-centre in that way. They just haven't looked themselves. And I mean, visually, Vincent Kompany was a little frustrated in parts of that first half of the way his team were playing, and rightfully so, because the way they were playing was not like the way Bayern have been playing in this tournament so far. And, you know, if Bayern want to have ambitions to go and win this competition, they need to win games like this. They need to assert that dominance heading into the round of 16, into the knockout stages. Because remember, you might get away with it in a group stage game, but when it comes to the knockouts, you need to be, it's going to be winning you're in, losing you're out. It's kind of that whole idea, you know, there's no room for error, there's no room for mistakes, and if Bayern have the kind of ambitions to try and win this competition, they need to eradicate whatever that was in the first half and bounce back and try and battle back. And, you know, I mean, finishing top of the group isn't a guarantee that you have an easy tie in the round of 16, no doubt about it, because we'll see if they can get the runners-up of Group D will be Chelsea or will it be Esperance. We will find out later this evening. But for Bayern, they need to have that ambition. And I think in that first half, they've just been lacking a lot of things and a lot of the basics of football that really should go unsaid and kind of unargued that you do no matter what. And I think Benfica have just took advantage of that, really. You know, they've been comfortable. They've really not had much of defending to do overall in the half. Bayern, without any shots on target in that first half, Benfica haven't really had much defending to do on that front. I mean, Trubin's barely been involved. The Benfica keeper has barely had anything to do himself. The defence has been sitting in shape and comfortable in their possession or even out of possession, holding their shape. And I think it's just been Bayern making it a little bit easy for Benfica as well. But the goal comes from a good breakaway, and in moments, a lot of the Benfica positive play has been down that right side. Because Rafael Guerreiro, the left back of Bayern, is moving into the midfield and being more of an inverted player. They're leaving that space down the right side. We've seen a little less towards the end of the half, but it was still evident. And that's where Auschnes gets down that right-hand side, the fullback of Benfica, and he drives the ball, cuts it back into the box. I thought initially it was going for Di Maria, and then fell for Schelderup, who had the effort and sweeped it into the net for 1-0. And that's where the space that's where the goal came from. That space down the right flank, where Benfica had one or two good chances down that side. No other than Vangelis Pavlidis, one-on-one, striding through down that right-hand side, in behind, and getting that one-on-one chance with Manuel Neuer that he couldn't take. He just waited too long. But Benfica have been the better side and deservedly have the lead, and there's not really much more I can say about that at this minute in time. Yes, they've had only 30% possession, but Bayern have struggled to create anything of real great note. As I said, no shots on target for Bayern. 3 on target in comparison for Benfica out of their 4 shots. So, comparatively, the possession is wasteful from Bayern, and they're not using it to their advantage. They're not being efficient enough, and they're not finding the targets, not finding their best players or their attacking players in good enough positions. And at the moment, what that means for the table is this. I can show you now. So, of course, Boca Juniors won up against Auckland, and Benfica leading Bayern means this for the table. We just had to update it there. Apologies. There we go. There's the table. So that's Group C at the top of your screen there. Group C, Benfica leading the way 7 points with them winning against Bayern. Now, Bayern losing, they would take up second spot and 6 points. Boca Juniors would be in third on 4 points, but they're currently winning, so that's as high as they can get, 4 points in the group. And Auckland City on 0 at the moment. Without a goal in the competition are Auckland City at this moment in time. But that could change if Bayern turn it around, and Boca could have a chance at battling back against Benfica. But at the moment it is the Portuguese that are going to be heading through top of the group as it stands, because they have the advantage that Bayern have to try and overcome when the second half comes around, which is on the way in just a moment. But what I can tell you before we do head to the second half is that this is what's coming up tomorrow night. Borussia Dortmund against Ulsan and Mamelodi Sundowns against Fluminense is our commentary game. That's Group F, match day 3, tomorrow 8 o'clock on LFS. Right, the second half between Bayern and Benfica in Group C is on the way next. Welcome back to the FIFA Club World Cup live here at LFS as we are about to round off another group at the group stages. Group C is our focus this evening, and halfway through at the group it is Boca Juniors who are leading Auckland by a goal to 0, and Benfica 1 up against Bayern, which means it will be Benfica Bayern that will be heading through as it stands. Benfica would be heading top of the group as it stands, but we've another 45 minutes to play in both games, so anything can still happen in these games, and I'm sure we'll have excitement and drama in the second half. Thank you very much everybody for joining us as the players are about to return to the field of play. We can tell you, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications as well. If you haven't done so already, that'd be greatly appreciated. We thank each and every one of you who's joining us here this evening. It's great to have you all with us and enjoying the Club World Cup with us. We didn't know what to expect from this tournament when we first said we were going to cover it and we're going to commentate on it and do it and share it with you. We didn't really know what to expect. Certainly I didn't, and so far it's been very entertaining from what we've seen so far. Who doesn't love even more football? You know, especially with the domestic season not back for another 2 months or so, or a month and a half at least. It is about time that we kind of had that other football that we can keep a focus on. As expected, Bayern making changes, and I said about that lack of focal point. Well, here comes Harry Kane, and he's coming on to the field alongside Joshua Kimmich, and also a third change as well. So Bischoff, João Palhinha, and someone else has come off for Bayern there. It moved that quickly, I couldn't really take it in. But Michael Olise is also coming on alongside Joshua Kimmich and Harry Kane. So a triple change for Vincent Kompany's team at half-time. And I said he wasn't happy. You could tell he wasn't happy, and he came right out of the tunnel there a moment or two ago. And his face was like thunder. Vincent Kompany, the Belgian. And the Bayern head coach. Tom Bischoff, João Palhinha and Serge Gnabry are the three that have made way, by the way, at half-time for Bayern. No changes for Benfica at the break. And we get back underway then at this one in the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Fans still trudging back to their seats for the second half. Maybe taking some shelter for this from the baking sun. At half-time, getting some refreshment. And we'll see what those changes can make for Bayern. And I expect them to make a big difference with Harry Kane coming on. And there's going to be an early yellow card coming out here. It's going to be Dahl that's going to be fouled, or it's going to be getting that yellow, I believe. Or is it actually Otamendi? It's a little bit late. It is Nicolas Otamendi, apologies, who gets the yellow for that challenge on Sacha Boey down that right-hand side. And that's going to be an early yellow card for the Benfica captain to start this second half. Within the first 30 seconds of the second half, he's already got himself booked. And a chance for Bayern to put this ball into the box here then. Joshua Kimmich just on. Already thrown into the action. Along with Michael Olise. Olise leaves it. It will be Kimmich's delivery. Whips it in. And it's headed away at the near post. And away again by Prestiani. And the flag was gone up anyway for an offside against, I believe, Harry Kane in the middle there. And of course, all three of those substitutes almost were involved in that free kick moment. Olise running over the ball, doing the dummy move. Kimmich with a delivery, and it almost found Harry Kane. That long clearance by Trubin, and just found its way back to Manuel Neuer. Welcome in Chelsea 1 lover. I wonder who you support. Yeah. Of course, Chelsea play a little later on this evening. Wonder if are you staying up for that one? At 2 a.m. Kickoff time in the UK. And I woke up this morning. Of course, I haven't stayed up for any of the 2 a.m. games. Oh, that was a little bit loose from Renato Sanchez. And that could have put his side under pressure. But he had the help of Samuel Dahl that got the ball away. But that feels a little bit more exciting for Bayern Munich. That space that opens up there. Upamecano out to the right hand side for Olise. Trying to drift into the box. Olise trying to dribble his way past his fullback. Cuts it back inside for Pavlovic, who called for a handball, but the referee said there was no issue as Bayern retrieve it again. Upamecano. Joshua Kimmich. Now out to Olise on the right side. Olise's left-footed effort that was crossed into the box was just too deep. Goal kick. But as I was saying about, I haven't watched any of the 2 a.m. games so far. Actually, I watched the opening game, which was early in the morning here in the UK. The Al Ahly Inter Miami game. Fascinating 0-0 draw. But yeah, I watched that one. That's the only one I watched in the early hours of the morning. But I went to sleep last night and then I woke up this morning and I had a check, 4-4 between Porto and Al Ahly, and Inter Miami and Palmeiras 2-2. What a cracker night. It was well worth to stay up for, but I certainly wasn't doing that. It's just not it's not good enough. I mean, going to bed at that time in the morning, although my sleep schedule's not great, but it's not that bad. Here's Sasha Bowie. I am waffling a little bit now. Bayern have had a better of it so far in the second half. First 4 minutes. That's a through ball. Oh, just a little too heavy from Joshua Kimmich towards Leroy Sané. That was a great vision from Joshua Kimmich. Just a little bit overhit. And Sané made a fantastic run, and then Trubin just got there in time to deny Leroy Sané any sort of effort on goal there. Clearance again from Trubin. He's dispossessing Benfica and he's gifting the ball right back to Bayern. One thing that Benfica don't want to do is lose any sort of grip in this game, any sort of kind of marking in this game, and just have it be free roam for Bayern to try and get back into it. Lovely ball over the top by Joshua Kimmich. Here is Sané in behind. Good save, very good save by Trubin. And I think the flag stayed down as well. He had to make it there. Anatoly Trubin. Oh, as Sanchez gets himself into trouble in the middle. And here's it's fallen. And a shot by Müller was straight down the throat of Trubin that time. That was two big opportunities for Bayern. And both whacking against the Benfica keeper. The first one was a fantastic one-on-one save against Leroy Sané. And the second, Thomas Müller's effort was just an easy catch for the Benfica number one. Neuer. He will start the Bayern possession again. Ball comes all the way through to Pavlovic here. Works it out to Bowie. He's got Olise wide. Here is Michael Olise. Drifting into the box, skipping past his fullback. Olise with a cutback. And that's cleared away by Antonio Silva. Only as far as Olise, who will pick it up again. Already a massive switch in the way Bayern are playing now. Olise through the lines. Played off by Kane. Joshua Kimmich, little back and forth, and Pavlovic's efforts is flown over the bar. It's like zigzag football. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, in and out of the box. And then Alexander Pavlovic hit the trigger. But he flew over the bar, that effort. That's a fabulous ball a bit earlier by Joshua Kimmich to Leroy Sané, that one-on-one chance. And it's a fabulous save by Trubin. Wonderful save. Two big chances in a matter of moments there for Bayern that they didn't take. But as I said already, they have put so much more into their attacking in the first 7 minutes of this second half than they provided in the whole of the first. They've looked so much more threatening. And that's why it looks like Benfica might be making a substitution here in a moment or two. So Bruno Lage reacting to the way the opponents are now playing. Here is Prestiani, who tried to poke it through for his centre-forward Pavlidis, but well closed off that time by the Bayern defence. We have a goal in that game between Auckland and Boca Juniors. And I said at half-time Auckland hadn't scored in the competition. Well, scratch that, because they now have. It's 1-1. And it is Christian Gray who has equalised for Auckland City. So they might not yet finish bottom of this group. If Auckland win, Boca Juniors will finish bottom of the group and Auckland will finish third. Obviously both will still be going out, but Auckland will not finish rock bottom, which will be quite a remarkable outcome for them. 1-1 in that game. 19 shots from Boca Juniors to Auckland's 3, and it's 1-1. There you go. Still 1-0 to Benfica here. So nothing really changes table-wise, just points are changing, but positionally at the bottom, so nothing's changed. But Bayern taken off top spot with this deficit they currently hold to Benfica, who would be claiming top spot. And with that influx of Bayern attacking play at the start of the second half, they're going to make a double sub here. Are the Portuguese. Bruno Lage pulling the trigger to make some changes. It's gonna see Prestiani and Schelderup replaced. So Prestiani, who was struggling at moments in that first half, and Schelderup, who scored the goal for Benfica, they're going to be coming off. And Kerem Aktürkoğlu and Orkun Koku are coming on. So the two Turkish internationals are coming on for Benfica here, Koku and Aktürkoğlu, try and reinstate some attacking pressure from Benfica on the Bayern defence. It's been all Bayern at the start of the second half here in Charlotte's. Olise, nice gathering of the ball there after that very harsh pass by Dahl. And then the ball through there by Harry Kane as he dropped a little deeper was a little bit loose. Here's Renato Sanchez now for Benfica. Down the right side it comes. Di Maria. He's got options. Angel Di Maria tiptoeing towards the box. Not much room to manoeuvre into. He plays it back out wide. On the overlap it comes. Here is Aktürkoğlu. He's taking a lovely touch. He has the shot. Good save by Manuel Neuer. Instant impact there from Kerem Aktürkoğlu. And has Benfica's first shot on target of the second half. That was a great chance. That was a very good save from Manuel Neuer. Well, I said they were brought on to reinstate the attacking threat. Well, he did it with his first touch, Kerem Aktürkoğlu there. His first and second touches. The shot was the second touch. That was maybe a little moment where Bayern can remember that Benfica still have a threat in this game. And Benfica are leading and can threaten and can pose a problem. Here's Olise. Bayern trying to push for that equaliser as quickly as they possibly can get it. Sane. Kane. Kane with the effort, and it's deflected off the head of a Benfica defender. That goes behind for the corner. And it looks like Jonathan Tah is coming on for Bayern here, so more changes for Vincent Kompany's team at this moment in time. Well, we're just hearing that there's been an interruption to that other game as Bayern with a corner cleared away from danger there by the Benfica defence. We believe that other game has been temporarily suspended, which is something, as I said in the first half, that has been a dark cloud across the whole of the tournament, really. These suspensions and stoppages of other games. We will let you know any more information as soon as we have it, but that game has been temporarily suspended between Boca Juniors and Auckland City. We are trying to find some more information, but it's hard to come by at this minute in time, and we will share any information that we have as and when we do get it, and we'll let you know what's come of that. But of course, that equaliser from Auckland came just before that suspension. The first goal in this tournament. What a moment for Christian Gray, who scored it for them. Look at this save from Manuel Neuer. Absolutely fabulous first touch from Aktürkoğlu. Takes it around the defender in Upamecano and tries to slot it. That's a great moment. A very good save. Well, we do have a bit more information on that suspension between Auckland City and Boca Juniors. The official message from FIFA is that the players have just gone off the field due to a weather delay in this one. So a weather delay has suspended that game between Auckland City and Boca Juniors at this moment in time. That is all the information we have for you at the moment. And we believe there's isolated thunderstorms in the forecast in Nashville, so that's why. So there is a temporary suspension to that other game. So we'll let you know as and when that does get back underway. As we're just short of the hour mark here, I did say that Bayern were making that other change. Jonathan Tah had come on for Deo Upamecano. So that's 4 subs in total that Bayern have made. They've one more they can make in this game. Here's a chance into the box. Ulisse. Now Kimmich rifles it into the bottom corner. That's a wonderful goal. Lovely from Joshua Kimmich. And Bayern have their leveller. Although they don't have their leveller because the flag's just gone up. A very delayed reaction from the assistant there. And that was some finish by Joshua Kimmich. But it's not going to count, it seems. Unless VAR will have their say. The referee is being surrounded by the Bayern players, I'm sure, because that is some goal. But it hasn't been given on the field. We'll see it again. Is there an offside? Where's the offside? Oh, yeah. So Harry Kane is offside, and he is in the eye line of the goalkeeper in Trubin. And the assistant has deemed that to be interfering and impeding on the goalkeeper from Harry Kane's part from an offside position, and therefore the goal isn't going to stand. But Harry Kane's claiming innocence. Joshua Kimmich's claiming that he wants that goal to be given. But the decision is no goal, I believe, because they're going to make a sub here. And it's going to be their final sub of the game for Bayern. Konrad Leimer is on for Sasha Bowie, so that's their 5th and final sub for Bayern. We've made all 5 subs within a 17-minute period, 3 of which at half-time and then 2 since. But that goal that they thought they'd levelled was ruled out. Harry Kane impeding the eye line of the goalkeeper from Joshua Kimmich's shot, and he was in an offside position, Harry Kane, therefore impeding and interfering with play. And that's why the goal has been ruled out on the field and ratified by VAR as the correct decision. Ulisse trying to reverse it in behind, but that was well stopped. You got to feel that maybe that goal is an inevitability, if I can get that out. An inevitability in the fact that Bayern have just been the better side and they're knocking on the door. And how much is Benfica's resolve going to last in this game? Maybe a second goal is what Bruno Lage is desperate for his team to find. Maybe a little bit fortunate that that goal was disallowed, but that's the decisions, that's the rules. And that's what the interpretation of the rules have been from the assistant and the referee. Sasha Bowie's come off here and he's going to go straight down the tunnel, so clearly that would be a little injury issue for him that is going to see him, has seen him be substituted for Bayern. As here come Bayern down this left side. Leroy Sané driving inside as the shot was blocked again from the edge of the box. Back it comes to Ulisse though. Müller wide. Müller with a right-footed delivery. Up and away by Silva again. Brought down in the box for Bayern. As Pavlovic. And Sané was in the mix there as it swung back in. Müller trying to keep it alive and then scrambled away again See what I mean? It's just a bit inevitable. And Konrad Laimer pressuring, and Benfica, sorry, clearing away. Long distance there. It's just one-way traffic at the moment. Bayern attacking, Benfica all the defending. You just feel an equalising goal is going to be the ultimate result, but unless Benfica can stifle this Bayern side for the next 26 minutes and deny them, it'll be some task. Konrad Laimer out wide to Ulisse, goes to the early cross, whipped in, and diving was Harry Kane. He felt it was pushed, but he maybe just dived a little bit too low, Harry Kane, and the ball sailed over his head for a goal kick. They are going to check this VAR though. The referee has stopped the game for the moment, trying to restore a bit of calm as the players are complaining, and the referee saying they're talking too much. And Nicolas Otamendi is the one that he is complaining to, so I don't think they were going to check a possible penalty there. They haven't, so it will play on. But the referee just not too happy with a couple of players there that are, as he put it, talking too much, clearly. And the the French referee's having none of it. Francois Letessier. Nice tick down there. Well, Di Maria thought, but he was dispossessed. As Pavlovic spreads it wide. Laimer. Tah. Pavlovic back to Jonathan Tah. Now across to Stanisic. He will switch it out to the right side. Nice little work from Ulisse to try and flick it on for Müller, but intercepted. Back to Ulisse, and Müller through the lines, and Laimer hits the post. I think he might have been offside anyway, but you couldn't get any closer than that without finding the back of the net. Konrad Laimer crashing it off the left upright, but he was offside in any case. Yeah, lovely little combination. Ulisse, Müller threw in behind. He's just offside, Laimer. And a good strike with it, with his right foot. The keeper had no chance, but he was just offside. It's Vincent Kompany encouraging his side. He's seeing a lot more promise from them in this second half, clearly. Somehow they've actually had more possession than they did in the first. They had 70% possession in the first half, 77% in the second half, so dominant isn't a word for it in terms of possession. Benfica have that goal that has them leading and topping the group as it stands. And that's what Bayern are trying to deny. Anything other than a Bayern defeat will see Bayern top this group. That's what it comes down to. But Benfica are maybe putting a little stick and a little bump in the road of Bayern's chances of top finish in this group. And now they've got a little breakaway themselves. Akçakoglu's charging towards the box here. Here's a chance! The shot blocked as it arrived into the box, and then Renato Sanchez couldn't keep it alive as he followed up. It was down that left hand side again. It was Auckland that made the run, and shot was blocked. Here's Harry Kane at the other end for Bayern. Whips it in! And Silva saying he didn't get a touch to it. And it goes all the way through it out the other ends. Trying things, Bayern. They're trying everything they can to get around and behind this Benfica defence. Oh, that's not looking good. Auckland, one of the Benfica subs, is down halfway up the field. See this lovely goal, but you can see clearly that you can see from the referee's view, Harry Kane come right across in the distance as soon as the shot's taken by Joshua Kimmich. And then as soon as the goal is disallowed, Harry Kane is claiming that he wasn't involved. 3 Benfica players are surrounding the referee to say that he did. And in the end, it was given as no goal and on the field. And a good spot by the referee there and the assistant. It was a correct decision. He definitely blocked the referee's view or the goalkeeper's view, sorry. Not that he intended to or not, but he certainly did from an offside position. We do have a cooling break at the moment. So another little break for the players to receive some fluids and just top themselves up for the final 21 minutes or so of this game here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Benfica leading by a goal to nil, and as I said, that goal from Andreas Schelderup is the one that will be getting Benfica top spot in this group, and Bayern will be ticking and settling for a runners-up spot. As it stands, they'll both be going through. There is no scenario in which Benfica win and these two don't go through. There's just no scenario that can be the case. The only way anybody other than these two can go through is if Bayern beat Benfica and Boca Juniors win by a major margin of 6 or 7 against Auckland, which I don't see happening, as they're drawing 1-1 and they've been suspended, remember, for the last 5, 10, 15 minutes maybe now in that one. Don't forget though, tomorrow we have another group to round up. Group F is our focus tomorrow. Mamelodi Sundowns take on Fluminense in that one tomorrow, 8 o'clock here on LFS. That will be our third group wrap-up. On match day 3, Borussia Dortmund take on Ulsan, and the other game in that group tomorrow evening, and will be the Hard Rock Stadium will be the venue for the Mamelodi Sundowns and Fluminense in Miami. That's tomorrow at 8 in that one. Never says, will Di Maria get booked? He's behaved himself quite well today, Angel Di Maria, if I'm honest. I wouldn't particularly say so, that he will get booked, but again, hasn't been booked in a while. He doesn't get booked very often, Angel Di Maria, just one booking, dating all the way back to January, so it's not often he gets booked for Bayern, or for Benfica, sorry. And he's been on his best behaviour today, Angel Di Maria. Look at the sights just on the outskirts of Charlotte, literally right on the verge of the city centre here in North Carolina. I believe this is the state capital. Don't know many state capitals, if I'm honest. My American geography knowledge is limited, as we are about to get back on the way here. Get back to the football. 18 or so minutes to go. Benfica 1, Bayern 0. Of course, the minutes that were lost due to the cooling break will be added on at the end of the game, so obviously that will be no real issue. So we'll restart with a throw-in on the far side. Yep. Auschnes is going to take this one for Benfica, it seems, down this right-hand side. Well, they've again done a lot of defending in this second half, Benfica, but a lot more aggressive attacking displays from Bayern, much more threatening. They have to work a lot harder, Benfica, in the second half so far. They're not quite as comfortable as they were in the first half with their defensive solidity and shape. Bayern starting to cause more problems, but at the moment not able to breach the defence of Benfica. Legally, that is, breach them. Koglu was isolated there and he'd nowhere to go. And was just picked off by Michael Olise. Harry Kane dropping deeper. Olise drifted out to the right hand side. He's broke away with the ball here. He's up against his fullback. Chops inside in Dahl, but he's still alive here as he was blocked. Olise lays it off to Joshua Kimmich. Back to Stanisic now. Pavlovic switching it out to the right side. Elise seems to be the main target for Bayern to get forward for the second half. Get them into that area. Here he is again. Lays it off to the overlapping Limer. Back to Elise. Body's drifting in and out of the box there for Bayern in the central area. They can whip the cross in. Here's Elise, to his left foot. He will cross it in, and it's bobbling all the way through. And here's the shot, great save from Trubin again. Is it Pavlovic that had the effort? And it's a very good save from Trubin. And then there's going to be a foul given the way of Benfica. What a reaction. What incredible reactions from the Benfica goalkeeper there. It was Alexander Pavlovic who's swearing in fume and a kind of anger at how that ball didn't find the back of the net. It's a very good save by Anatoly Trubin. Again, with his legs again. Stretching out with his left leg. That's a fabulous save. He's made some great saves this evening. Anatoly Trubin. Keeping Benfica in it and leading. No doubt. No doubt. 23-year-old Ukrainian goalkeeper. 6'7", certainly not small. Anatoly Trubin. That's what you want in a goalkeeper. Very tall goalkeeper. And now, unleashing Pavlidis here, our Benfica, down the right side. He's got Akçakoglu for company in the middle, but he'll just settle for the throw down the far right side here. Does Vangelis Pavlidis. Less than 15 minutes to go. Benfica with a throw in high up on the right-hand side. Renato Sanchez has gone down, though. So they still have 3 subs they can make. The Portuguese side, if they wish. And Renato Sanchez just going down. Maybe, who knows, a little bit of time wasting. Or he could genuinely be having an issue here, but another stoppage. We still have that delay, that weather delay between Auckland City and Boca Juniors, 1-1. And also vote for your player of the match at the moment. play.fifa.com/POTM. That's the link rolling across the bottom of your screen there. And you can go and vote for your player of the match for this game. And that will be announced around about the 90th minute mark or so. As I was saying, that game is still delayed between Auckland City and Boca Juniors. It was delayed around about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, around about 20 minutes ago, and the players haven't re-emerged as of yet. The game is still suspended. And Sanchez is going to have to be replaced here, by the way, so looks like that issue that he was feeling was genuine. There is still that isolated thunderstorms warning in Nashville, so that will continue, according to this graphic, at least for another less than an hour or so. That weather condition will continue, so at the moment it doesn't look like they'll be getting back underway anytime soon in that other game in this group, which is a little bit disappointing, but overall, will it really make a difference? I don't quite think so. Luckily, we still have this game going and running. By the way, Renato Sanchez was taken off there, and the man came on in his place. Adrian Bayrami is on in his place. The Albanian defender is on in his place, so they're probably adding an extra defensive body is to sure out this result at Benfica. So Bayrami on for Benfica. A lot of defending for the Portuguese still to do. Oh, they've got a little chance at a breakaway there, but that was seen out by Jonathan Tah without any real major worry. He just knocked it out for the throw. Watchalong was on the scene, but Tar just poked it out of play. And they still have that threat on the break, do Benfica. We've not seen very much of it in the second half. Rare occasion, Watchalong, the best chance of the second half for them. Caoimhan Ferris, just as he just joined us, as he was just subbed on about 10 minutes into the half. He had a great effort that was saved by Manuel Neuer, but not really seen much of Benfica since that. It's been a lot of Bayern attacking, a lot of Benfica defending for the majority of this second half, but they've defended again resolutely and very diligently at this moment in time. This would be a clean sheet as it stands. That would be getting them top spot in this group. Here's Antonio Silva swinging it out to the space on that left-hand side, of which Dahl has picked up. Linking up in the midfield with Bayrami. Nice little 1-2 give and goes there as Angel Di Maria couldn't quite find it through to his teammates, and then a little push by Auckland will get Bayern a free kick and a little bit of a chance to get back onto the ball with 10 minutes to go. Limer. Down this right-hand side comes Olise for Bayern. Can they scratch anything out of this game? Remember, anything other than a defeat for Bayern would see them top of the group. So even a draw would be enough for Vincent Kompany's side to head through top. Of course, the winners of this group will play the runners-up of Group D, who play later to decide their results. That was a audacious from as well in his own half there from one of the Benfica players. It was very wasteful. I think it was Auckland that had that effort. That was a decent effort there, decent clearance there by Nicolas Otamendi, scrambling away. Yeah, they've gone into a back five now with Bayrami coming on. Just an extra defender in the Benfica back line just to help them see this victory out, see this result out. And they've got a 2-on-2 here. But that ball from Pavlidis was too much for Di Maria to chase. It ends up breaking down any sort of attacking threat there for Benfica. As Limer will get a throw in down this right side. Ooh, a little bit sloppy there from Bayern in possession. Watchalong couldn't make anything of it. Back with Olise now, down the right side. Dribbling inside. Olise went too far. He's still got the ball. He doesn't want to give it up here, Michael Olise, and he's ended up as last man for Bayern. think we're back. We are. Apologies about that. There we are. We're back. Apologies. Don't know why the mic cut out there, but we're going. We're back well. Thank you very much for that, Neva. I wouldn't massively have actually realised that. I just noticed it as soon as you said it, but I don't know if I would have if you hadn't have, so thank you very much for that. Bayern have a corner here. You didn't really miss too much while I was not speaking. Right-footed delivery from the corner. Up in the air. And cleared away from the Benfica defenders. They're still holding on here, Benfica. 6 minutes or so of normal time to go. 5.5, you would say. And any additional time still to come. Hopefully I wasn't muted for too long. It's a nice ball in behind. Chipped across. Harry Kane was the target. Just a little bit too high for the Englishman. So here's Dahl. Otamendi to chip it forward, but again, no space, no options. And too hard from Nicolas Otamendi to find any of his teammates on that occasion. Pavlovic. Limer. Flicks it into Harry Kane, who is just about holding on to the ball. Limer again. Pavlovic, they're trying to work a way around. They're getting a little bit desperate now at times, our Bayern, with their play. Olise switched inside. More central, Michael Olise. Now Guerrero fighting and battling. And Sané! Again, just as he's done all day. Wasteful again, Leroy Sané. And he absolutely thumps through it. And he skies it well over the bar. I mean, there's 2 or 3 times today he's got in good positions as Leroy Sané. And he's just not done anything with it. I mean, these are really wasteful shots. Really wasteful shots from Leroy Sané. There's still time for that to change. Gunga, thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you all with us once again for this one. As we get closer to the final whistle, double changing coming here for Benfica. Angel Di Maria and Vangelis Pavlidis are coming off, and they're going to be replaced by João Rego and Thiago Gouveia. So Gouveia and Rego on, replacing Di Maria and Pavlidis. Pavlovic through the lines, nice combination. Harry Kane, he's played it through. Here is Leroy Sané, and he's hit it right at Trubin, who makes another great save. Leroy Sané has missed 3 gilt-edged chances tonight and 2 one-on-ones against Anatoly Trubin. What a ball by Harry Kane though, but what a save by Trubin, and once more Anatoly Trubin getting his money's worth. Our Benfica out of him tonight. Again, Kane drops deeper. He plays an unbelievably sumptuous ball through the lines. And Leroy Sané gets on the end of it. And then tries to chip it past the keeper. But what a save by Trubin again. Fantastic. Genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised if Trubin gets player of the match, because he has made 3 unbelievably important saves for his team tonight. Four saves officially he's made this evening, according to the stats, and 3 of them really massive saves from Trubin. And Benfica trying to break away here. Oh, he's still bursting through here, the substitute. And he runs out of room, although he's still going, and there is going to be a foul. And it's going to be a yellow card there for Gouveia, who kicked the ball away there as he knew the referee was going to give the free kick to Bayern. And delaying the restart gets him a little bit of a lazy booking, but he doesn't really care. It's all about wasting time. It's all about trying to eke out the seconds, eke out the clock, and get this big result for Benfica. Müller, a little bit short-handed there. Koglu couldn't keep it though. Kane, now Olise off the right again. Olise will try and go for goal. And the deflection off Dahl will carry it behind for the corner. Neves says, needing you commentating in Premier League. Very good commentating. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much for the support. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated as well if you could help us push towards 28,000 subscribers. Last minute of the 90 then. Right footed delivery from the left side from Bayern, again cleared away. It was by Rami that time. Olise keeps it alive. Müller with the delivery again, punched away by Trubin. And it's going to be a free kick to Benfica, although there's a Bayern player down in Pavlovic. So a free kick to Benfica. And Vincent Kompany, the Bayern coaches, the Bayern staff, the Bayern players are all wondering how it's Benfica's free kick in that sort of situation. And they thought Pavlovic was fouled. 8 additional minutes then, so more than enough time still in this game. 8 minutes added on to the end of the 90. And that will feel like a lifetime for those Benfica players. You're trying to keep Bayern at bay in this one. Remember, any goal for Bayern, anything other than a defeat for Bayern Munich, would see them top the table. At the moment, as it stands, Benfica winning, they would claim top spot. But any score from Bayern, and that will massively switch. Albeit, Benfica would still be going through. These two will be going through. But in which order? That's what we're playing for here. In Group C. Stanisic. Joshua Kimmich. Stanisic again. Nice ball through the lines here. Sané again. He chips it this time, but too close to Anatoly Trubin again. That was Guerrero actually that made that run. Trubin to thump it as far away as he can get it from his goal with that kick. He gets it as Bayern retrieve and go all the way back to their keeper. Try and build from the back again. Time running out. 6 minutes of the 8 still to go though for Bayern. Leimer. Guerrero. Back to Jonathan Tah. Joshua Kimmich now. Trying to find a way past this tricky defence of Benfica. They've been the better side since half-time, Bayern Munich, but as I said about this stubborn defence from Benfica, it is held firm up to this point. Can it hold for another 5.5 minutes as the shot from distance from Michael Olise was always rising and always going over the bar. As we see this chance from Leroy Sané again. What a ball by Harry Kane. And what a save by Trubin. He has missed some big chances tonight, Leroy Sané. Some very big gilt-edge opportunities. Anatoly Trubin. Take a bow for his performance tonight. He's been fantastic. He might not have his job done yet. Still 5 minutes to go. Another kick by Trubin. Flicked on this time by one of his players, which kind of helps keep Benfica up the field, but again, not for very long, as they can't take any sort of firm grip of the ball. Stanisic working it at the back here at Bayern. Played out to Leimer on the right side. He's got Olise hugging the touchline. Here is Olise. Off the right side, chops back onto his left. Elise's delivery round the back post. There's a man there! but he's headed it wide. Has Thomas Müller. I think there might have been a deflection on his header from Eichnes on that far side, the fullback. That's going to be a corner to Bayern, but that was a great delivery off that right side. And now a set piece for Bayern to try and use to their advantage. 5th corner of the game. Lots of red shirts in the way, and Kimmich's delivery doesn't even beat the first in red there at the near post. He clears it away. Konrad Laimer to recycle it. Elise. All the outfield players in red of Benfica are hugging in and around their own 18-yard box. Hanging in and around. Müller trying to flick one into the box. Laimer trying to lift it. That one is caught by Anatoly Trubin. Just no way past them at the moment. They thought they did earlier in the game, Bayern, when Joshua Kimmich had a straight strike, find the bottom of the corner, bottom of the net, but it was Harry Kane standing in an offside position, impeding the goalkeeper's view, that denied Bayern their equaliser. And you'd feel, in the form that Anatoly Trubin is on, he would have had to impede his vision to deny him saving any of these efforts that Bayern have had tonight, because he has done everything he possibly can, the Ukrainian goalkeeper, to deny Bayern a goal tonight and keep this very precious clean sheet. Pavlovic with a chip over the top, Kimmich, and now Laimer cross, but again into the hands of Trubin, who watched it all the way. And 2.5 minutes of the 8 will remain. And that man there, smiling and laughing on the sidelines, on the bench for Benfica, is the man who scored their goal in the 13th minute of this game. Andreas Schelderup is the one that would be, at this moment, securing top of the group for Benfica. Unless Bayern can have a late say to change that. Less than 2 minutes now remain here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's anything other than a draw or a win, anything other than a defeat for Bayern would see them top the group. A draw or a win would do so. A Benfica win would see them topping the table and heading through as group winners. Considering how the group started, with Bayern winning 10-0 against Auckland and Benfica not able to get 3 points against Boca Juniors. They've come a long way since that first group game. And that big win over Auckland on match day 2 reignited their belief. Maybe that narrow victory for Bayern maybe just offset them a little bit. But are they going to snatch it here? Pavlovic. And that's fabulous defending. Again by Bayrami, who denies him an effort, but it will be a corner in the last minute of this match. It's now or never really for Bayern to snatch an equaliser and scramble top spot. Olise's delivery. Oh, the header is directed wide. Oh my goodness, from Harry Kane. I think there might have been a foul in any case against the Benfica defender, but he's completely missed from point blank range. Harry Kane. What a miss. And surely that will be that now for Benfica. I think they've just done enough to get over the line. Let's see it. Wait on this. Final whistle from the French referee. It will surely come after this goal kick. Or this free kick from Anatoly Trubin, who's more than played his part, because there's the final whistle. And Benfica have done it. They have topped the group quite emphatically. They were fighting to the death in this one, defending for their lives. They needed their goalkeeper on more than one occasion, Anatoly Trubin, the Ukrainian, who was like a brick wall today, which Bayern could not find a way past. Quite remarkable from Bruno Lage's team. After match day 1, they couldn't even get a victory. And Bayern won 10-0. How starkly contrasting that is now, with Benfica beating Bayern by 1-0. Andreas Schelderup is the goal scorer that wins the game for Benfica and claims top spot. It means that despite that game between Auckland and Boca Juniors being suspended, they know their fates already, those two. I mean, Auckland already knew their fate, but Boca now do know their fate. No matter what they can do, they are going out no matter what now. Final score from North Carolina in Charlotte in Group C. It is finished. Benfica 1, Bayern Munich 0. And a quick look at how it rounds up. So that game between Auckland City and Boca Juniors will still have to be played to a finish, of course. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon, basically. We will, of course, confirm that tomorrow when both groups have been decided, C and D, and then we'll tell you who plays who and when. That will all be revealed tomorrow. But we know who is going through out of this group. Benfica and Bayern are the two that are heading through. Let's show you the table and how it finishes then. Well, at least how it's going to finish for the top two. Benfica 7 points out of a possible 9. Bayern 6 out of a possible 9, which will see both of those two teams through to the next round, to the round of 16 in this one. And I can tell you where each team's going and when they will play. So Benfica are the winners of Group C, so they will play on Saturday. They will play in Charlotte, so they will be staying in the same stadium for that one on Saturday. That's a 4 p.m. Eastern time, so 9 p.m. UK time on Saturday evening, and they will take on the runners-up of Group D, which as it stands would be Chelsea, but of course second match day 3 in Group D still has to be played out, so it can still be Esperance as well, or Flamengo if strange Caladonger's results come out of that one. But Benfica will be staying in Charlotte, so they don't need to travel. They can stay and enjoy whatever happens in Charlotte over the next couple of days. Bayern Munich, though, they are the runners-up of Group C, so they'll be playing the winners of Group D. That's on Sunday evening, and they will be heading to Miami, to the Hard Rock Stadium, where they will play the winners of Group D, which at the moment looks likely to be Flamengo, but that's not guaranteed. But Flamengo look likely to be the opponents of Bayern Munich, and they will be heading to Miami for their game on Sunday. Right. That is it from us tonight. Of course, we will keep you up to date with what's happened. Let you know what the final score comes out of the Auckland City Boca Juniors game when that does get eventually played. They are still suspended, and it doesn't look like they'll be getting underway very soon. So we will let you know when that finally comes through. At some point. Right, thank you very much for joining us. Benfica topped the group with that big win over Bayern, 1-0, the narrowest at advantage. And tomorrow night, we have more coverage for you as Group F takes on match day 3. That's tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Borussia Dortmund take on Ulsan, the South Korean side. And Mamelodi Sundowns face Fluminense is our commentary game. That's tomorrow at 8 o'clock on LFS. But thank you very much for joining us tonight in the Club World Cup. 2 of our 4 groups down from our roundups this week, and we have still got more to come over the next 2 nights. 2 very exciting games still on the horizon for you to watch over the next 2 nights before it's knockouts time. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for your company. Night night.